小 hero， 谁还记得？
姐姐，恭喜战士4比3，飞龙在天！
哎，算了，恭喜他夺冠吧。
一把，我靠！
打不过啊，他最后这手感染虫太凶了。最近半年 ZVP 56-3，给自己点一个赞。 冠军
I don't think Cyril has any chance to save this one, but he continues.
He gets killed coming back, and Bunny just doesn't seem to have the numbers.
Didn't even notice the Liberator in the main base, I think. So many probes are going down right now.
Oh my god, they're trying to get back, but they can't, and so many are picked up. A big clump here from Kira. He tries to split everything up.
Giant force at Bailey's roll. Clearing the hell, that's massive. Clum!
Mario is once again.
Has done it.
Cyril did it all, and he is a well-deserving champion.
And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another day of the Masters Coliseum 8 playoffs, day number 3. I'm of course your VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in the chat, by my plushies as well. Welcome one and all to the 3rd day of the playoffs. Welcome to Elimination Day. Here we go. We have had a plethora of players facing off, advancing on into the further stages of the tournament, but now we have the elimination round here as Astrea, Spirit, Zan, and Gumiho all lost their rounds, all lost their matches in the upper bracket, and they've been knocked down to the lower bracket instead. We have 4 players playing here tonight, and 2 of them will be knocked out of the tournament, out of Masters Coliseum. Boy, here we go. We have 2 TVPs here tonight. It's going to be a TVP between Astrea and Spirit. Likewise, TVP between Zhan and Gumiho. Both these matches are going to be best of 5s. And we're here to find out the first players out of the tournament, out of Masters Coliseum. Here we go. And honestly, this is going to be a hard one to call. A big factor, of course, coming into our first round is the time zone. Astrea, of course, he is in the Americas. It is very early in the Americas as well, so he has to, of course, work and fight against his sleep to face off against Spirit. Likewise, Spirit himself has been looking insane, specifically in this matchup in the TVP. Did fall to Hero earlier, that is true, but here against Astrea, I'm sure he's looking to reprise his role. We can see that match history between these 2 players. Spirit having a winning record. Oh my god, almost a complete winning record here against Astrea. I'm a little bit in shock. That's crazy. Astrea with the 2-0, with the 3-1, with the 2-1, with the 1-1, and with the 2-1 scoreline as well. Very impressive historical record here by Spirit, but it's all about the here, it's all about the now here between these 2. Again, we're on a new patch, we're on a new map pool as well. I want to believe that we can have a back and forth, that we can have a competitive series. I do want to believe. Oh boy. Oh, I have to make sure I have everything set up and everything ready to go. Likewise, again, it's only going to be the 2 matches here tonight. And of course, Masters Coliseum is going to be returning next week and the week after that to conclude the event, to go through the remaining matches here and to crown our Masters Coliseum champion. Oh boy. Oh boy. We have the rest of January for that. Likewise, we were, of course, live earlier today with the Thermal 2v2 tournament. We're back. I was able to get some sleep. I got some sleep. I can confirm. I was able to get some rest before jumping in. Thankfully. Aye. So we're well rested, we're good to go. Tomorrow, of course, we're going to be going over the OSC Challenger bracket as well in the morning. And oh, we have our players! And we're smudging a little bit. Oh my god, again, bright and early in the morning here. Let's go. We have our Protoss contender here. He's with us. Oh, you have a video.
Hello, this is Astrea. My feelings about the new StarCraft 2 patch is that I like it overall. I'm quite happy about energy recharge in particular, and I think just the fact that the meta is slightly different and Protoss has some new interesting tools is quite nice. And balance-wise, overall, I don't think it's really changed too much, but there's a few nice changes for Protoss balance-wise, like the Tempest change. And even though battery overcharge is removed, energy recharge is pretty good. So yeah, I don't know. I like the patch overall. My performance in the group stage, I wasn't really expecting to do that well actually, because yeah, the matches are at 4 or 5 a.m. for me, so it can be pretty rough to feel awake while I'm playing. And also my hands, it's pretty cold at 4 or 5 a.m. even in San Diego in my room, so my hands were feeling a bit cold. I don't think I was playing as fast as I could have either, so I was actually very surprised at how well it went. And I was also very happy with my late game versus Earl. I didn't expect to be able to beat him in a straight up macro late game, but I'm happy I went for it because, yeah, it was a good game. My recent performance, it's been okay during the off seasons. Like I wish I were playing. I'm definitely playing better than I was at EWC before this patch. Not just because of the patch, because I'm actually playing better. I feel like yeah, it has to do with I think practice and motivation. I've definitely been a little bit more motivated just because of the patch. So yeah, I practiced a bunch, and also I had a little extra motivation after practicing in Korea for EWC. Just being with other StarCraft players in the house was really nice. So I think that just motivation has really helped me play a little bit better recently. The difference between WTL and individual events. I mean, I don't know. It's really not that different from me. I just try to put up my best performance no matter what I'm playing in. It's kind of nice to be a part of a team and other people cheering you on, but I don't know. It feels about the same to me. And yeah, Happy New Year's, everyone. I hope this is going to be a great year for you. It would be nice if this was a great year for everyone. I hope StarCraft continues, and if it does, I'll continue to play. So yeah, that's my New Year's hope, I suppose. Yeah, thank you.
Ah, Spirit, he has so much to say. Oh, wait. Do we have an interview? Do we? Oh wait. Oh, okay, we do.
I really enjoyed the new patch. I think it's because of the maps. The games are very spectacular and intense, so I like it. I'm obviously very proud of my performance. I think I was very lucky that Clem and Oliver wanted to play Protoss against me. I'm not afraid of anyone's Protoss, especially the off-race. I have a lot of secret build orders that I keep for important games. The difference between WTL and other events is obviously that the team games are very interesting, so that will be sad if it's gone. I wish you guys Happy New Year. Let's have hope they can host more tournaments in 2025.
He has so much to say. Let's go. Lovely to hear from both Astrea and Spirit coming into their final matches here of Massive Coliseum, or at least one of them. So I really appreciate, shout out to the production team for actually having these interviews. Does make sense considering we were going to be saying adieu to one of these two competitors, and I'm sure we're going to be seeing some more interviews in the coming weeks with the rest of the players, in the elimination round, as we have our matches getting ready for us. We have our best of 5. When it comes to what they had to say, once again, it was really cool to hear from Astrea. As we had assumed, again, as he was saying himself, it is a really rough time slot for his matches, as he's just now waking up. Likewise, apparently very cold as well in the morning, so hopefully Astrea is able to be awake, be alert, and be ready for his matches here, as he did do very well in the group stage. Also, it's great to hear about his perspective returning from Korea. As we had mentioned, we had assumed, or at least I had said that he had improved so much in Korea. Now that's all coming into play after the fact, unfortunately after EWC. But here we go. In the top right corner, we have Astrea. In the bottom left, we have Spirit. Let's go. We have our first match of the night, a best of 5. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. As again, it was great to hear from their perspective. For those who are unaware, Astrea, he spent a lot of time in Korea just before EWC. He was there with Trigger, he was there with Future and Clem. They were all in Korea together, and all of them have shot up in skill. Of course, Clem more recently after that time in Korea, which led into EWC. Astrea and Trigger, it took them a little bit longer to bloom, but they definitely have shot up in skill quite heavily in the months preceding the EWC event, and also here in the off season as well. So it's been great to see their growth as players. But again, we'll see how they perform here in this matchup. As Spirit said, he's very confident in this TVP. He's very confident in this matchup and has some cheeky builds up his sleeve from time to time. Cool. For now, we're settling in. To our initial opener is going to be an economic opener out of Spirit, going for a Rax into Expand. Likewise, Astrea going for his own Gate Expand into Cybercore. So a slightly more greedy, slightly more economic opener out of Astrea. Meanwhile, economic opener out of Spirit. As Spirit does open up, even with a Marine first, no Reaper. So this is quite common in Terran versus Protoss, where the Terran player does not SCV scout, so there's no SCV scout, but this is one step further where there's no SCV scout, but there's also no Reaper scout either. Typically, we would be seeing a Hellion follow-up just so there's something out on the map, just so there's something to scout and something to get a read on what's going on. We'll see exactly how many corners Spirit does cut. We shall see. The players are settling in. It is going to be a Twilight Council opener out of Astrea. So working towards Blink. And my eyes are on Spirit here as to how he does follow this up. Is it going to go into Hellion? Is it going to go into Widowmine? Does it go for add-ons instead? How long do we progress here with only just the one unit? As there it is, there's a Hellion. So again, typically if a player does skip the SCV and does skip the Reaper, it's usually Hellion as a follow-up, and the Hellion isn't really designed to get any damage, it's just designed for scouting, just to get a read on what's going on, just to get a read on the build, on the tech, on whatever the Protoss is up to, just to get some kind of information. From here, Spirit going into a 1-1-1, Starport follow-up. It's going to be initially Hellion into Widowmine drop. Likewise, the Widowmine drop is also designed to scout more than anything. To drop into the bases to get a read on what is happening. As a Hellion moves out, even ignores the Adept. Just straight up ignores it. Commits. No cam, Spirit didn't clean the room, confirmed. He's just not wearing any clothes. He's doesn't want to get the streamed banned, papi. Ay, ay, ay. The pants they were wearing Spirit down. He had to cast them aside to speed up. Oh god, as the Adept does get into the main, 2 SCVs going to be going down already. Not bad. 2 SCVs, 2-4. Those workers should not have gone down. It's nicely done here by Astrea. Blink is on the way. Spirit, he is building up. Getting to his tank production. Raven is on the way as well. I believe Raven before Medevac. So Spirit is gearing up. Still just relying on his Hellion for some scouting information. As the hallucination does confirm the 1-1-1. Does get eyes on the Raven and tank follow-up as well. Astrea sees all he needs to. Getting into his third, I believe a 3-gate blink into a third base. Very economic opener here by Astrea. And this all makes sense. I should have mentioned it before. Welcome one and all to Amygdala and one of the larger maps in the map pool. Longer rush distance by ground as well. The map does open up as time goes on, as rocks get knocked down, but at least in the early to mid game, it is much more secure, much easier to be economic and to build up towards that mid game as well. So really that's kind of where both of our players are headed, at least Astrea. Would you see that Spirit, he throws down 2 extra Raxes and an eBay, yet to throw down a third TC. We have seen Spirit be quite greedy in this matchup even earlier in Masters Coliseum, but he has yet to really commit or yet to really throw down a third base yet, still just committing into more production, into his +1 and stim timing. Interesting. So I'm curious to see if Spirit delays his third base even further, even if he skips a third entirely. That is also possible here for Spirit. We'll see where he takes us. Meanwhile, we have our splash damage of choice. Astrea is still just teching. Despite opening up with Blink Stalkers, he has been intentionally skipping warp-ins to afford the Bay, the Forge, charge into Immortal production, into eventually Colossus production as well. So again, Astrea is also cutting corners, intentionally so. Hallucination does get eyes on the lack of 3rd TC. And on the production. And again, at least Astrea does also confirm the positioning of the army. More gateways now on the way for Astrea. And again, he's trying to hold off on making any units until he needs to. As here comes the move out. Hallucination barely does miss it, but the Stalker's ready. And Astrea, he spots the army. He knows now it's time to warp in. You can see here 4 Stalkers in production. Colossus on the way. Astrea slowing this down and preparing back at home. So again, so crucial here that he's able to get eyes on this and to slow it down somewhat. Going for the Widowmine, he will get it. Very nice pickup. Widowmine goes down. Likewise, Observer's in position. Scan ahead of time. Spirit does spot the main army, is aware of the Stalkers at least. Astrea has yet to get a 4th. It is going to be delayed as the pylons are going down. And Spirit, does he commit here? He does have a 3rd CC on the way. 3rd CC now gets thrown down. It's a bit of a later 3rd base for Spirit. He's committing that much more. First Colossus has arrived. Astrea, he's going to be able to hold on to his 3rd base. But it's all about, can Astrea get... Oh, can he get a 4th? Can he expand and get a 4th base? That's why Spirit is here, to delay the expansion to contain Astrea. As the pylon is cancelled, we see Astrea forced to expand towards the south instead. Forced to expand away from Spirit, which is not exactly what he wanted. Spirit dropping into the main. Astrea, ooh, gets a couple of shots off, but doesn't deny the drop. Does have a Zealot in position and should be able to clean this up without too much issue. Yeah, we'll force the pickup. So far, so good. The SimCity working against Astrea. Getting 7 perps. Very nice target firing. Oh my god. 7 workers go down. The Raven does fall. Very nice damage here from Spirit. He has 7 workers. Another pylon going to be going down. Astrea, he will punish this though. He can chase this down. Gets a Marauder. Does manage to catch a Marauder. 3rd base is being taken. Astrea, he does spot this. He sees all. And very efficient pickoffs here, even getting another Widowmine. With that Spirit, he has to race back home. He's in position. The tanks are sieged. And Astrea, he has to respect that tank line. Backs off for now. Observer's just pointing out the Raven went down, as he did notice earlier. And Astrea, he isn't going to commit. He backs off. He backs off from here. Spirit, he's looking for the 4th base, confirms it is not towards the north. Can deduce it is towards the south instead. 2nd Robo is on the way. This tells us that Astrea, he's not moving out. He's not committing when it comes to a move out. He is taking up, getting into further upgrades. Warp Prison speed. Double Robo into double Disruptor production. Astrea can be active, but again, he's focusing his resources elsewhere. As he's double expanding. I mean, it makes sense the 4th base is late. So he gets up a later 4th, and he makes up for it with a much faster 5th. Likewise, Astrea does have map control. He's in position to protect his 4th. Spirit, he spots the expansion that's on the way. And Astrea is going to have to get ready there. Spirit, does he respond? Does he react? Oh, later armory for Spirit, so he's stuck with +1. +2 is delayed quite heavily. Astrea, he has eyes on the main army, so he knows if he ever does have to warp in defensively back at home. Drop into the mineral line. SCVs are going to be going down. Oh, never mind. Zelta or an A move. Prism goes down. The warp in is denied. And Astrea, he strikes the 3rd. The army's out of position. Mine shot's going to be going off, but SCVs are going down. Astrea, he cannot commit to a fight, but he's going for the CC, and he gets it. Whew. Nice pickup. Expansion goes down. Astrea backs off from here. Once again, he should not commit. Oh, bleeding out some Stalkers. Some losses, some rough losses there for Astrea. As he pokes in once again, Astrea playing with fire. Oh, gets a Viking. Disruptor has arrived. Astrea maintaining this position. The Observer does spot the drop moving out. Astrea, he is aware. Yo, shout out to White Red, by the way. There's never clips the army. And the CC is going to go down once again. Ooh, that's a kill. That's a kill in the command center. There's the recall back home. Astrea, he backs up. But the damage has been done. And Spirit, he's in trouble. But both medevacs go down. Massive pickoffs. And Spirit, he's down to 2 bases. He's heavily down in supply. And here the soup. It's not lying. It's not lying, Pappy. Astrea, he's setting up and he's going for the kill. Spirit, he's just taking too many losses here. Again, for that War Prism to drag the entire army out of position, I mean, that was the game-winning move. For Spirit to have missed the move out. Not in position to protect the 3rd base. Snipes a Disruptor. Never goes off. Gets a Marauder and a Zealot. Zealot run by on the right-hand side, and Spirit just doesn't have the numbers to defend. As he gets distracted by the Zealots, Astrea moves in, and he's going for the tanks. The tanks are exposed. He gets 1, he gets 2. Zealots they come in for the surround. And GG gets called. Astrea takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Astrea, he does take a lead in the series. Again, Astrea, he had a rough time in the previously in the upper rounds of Massive Coliseum. But last year, he starts things off with some momentum with a win. GG, well played. That does take a win here in game 1. Now, what I will say, though, is that Astrea, he had a lot of vision, had a lot of map control as well. He saw everything that Spirit was up to. Every single thing. When it comes to the drop play, when it comes to the move outs, when it comes to the 3rd base timing. Everything Astrea had eyes on. With that, he had plenty of information, plenty of time to respond, to get ready to protect his 3rd base, to warp in, to cut corners, more importantly, to know when he didn't have to warp in, when he didn't have to produce any kind of units, any kind of army. And with that, was able to find those weak points here in Spirit's defenses, able to pull them apart, and GG. GG, well played. That's game 1 in the books. We weren't able to quite have a look at the vetoes themselves. Interesting. As we have Astrea vetoing the extremes, he does veto one of the larger maps in Abyssal, or the smallest map in Whispers of Gold. Likewise, Spirit gets rid of El Dorado and Ultra Love as well, so they do get rid of some of the more macro defensive and also aggressive maps. What is left here is everything in between. What I'm surprised by, though, is that Neon Violet Square did not get vetoed. This is the largest map in the map pool, and it's coming up next here in game number 2. Now, we've spoken about this before. We've seen this before. Neo Violet Square is the new Radisson Station. If you don't know what that means that it's a game of green. Cut every single corner you can. As in the top left-hand corner. Oh, God, that's focus the camera. We have Astrea, and in the bottom right, we have a Spirit. Let's go. The blur is real. Astrea, he's being censored, Bappy. Oh my God. It hurt my eyes. And hopefully the camera will focus over time. I think we're kind of getting there. Basically what happened is, because Astrea was drinking coffee, and because he had moved his hand and his mug too close to the camera, it focused on the hand, it focused on the coffee itself, and we have since lost focus on the face. Well, we'll get it back. We'll get it back. As we are settling into game number 2. And we'll see how many corners we cut here. Again, it's all about getting the faster natural, the faster 3rd base, the faster 4th base as well. Here on Neo Violet Square, it is a very secure 5-base setup here. And as a result, we do often see a little late game on Neo Violet Square because of how long it takes to move out across the map alongside how defendable these bases are. So curious to see how both of our players will approach this. Spirit, I mean, again, he is known for his greed. He's known for cutting corners. If you recall, last game, he didn't get his 3rd CC until after his 5-rack setup. I would imagine this time he's going to be going for a much faster 3rd CC. For now, going for an economic opener, going for a racks into expansion. Likewise, Astrea. Oh, we're back. We can see his face. The focus is back. Meanwhile, Astrea just going for his own Gate Cyber expand. Oh, sorry, Gate expanded to Cyber Core. So economic openers all around. Really, what I'm most curious about is the timing of the 3rd Nexus and the timing of the 3rd CC. That is what I want to know. So players are settling in. When it comes to the previous game, it was unfortunate that Spirit was unable to get eyes on the observers. That's kind of the big moments and the big thing to work on here for Spirit was without catching the observers, he was unable to really deny the vision and deny the scouting of his opponent, which allowed Astrea to be as greedy as he was. As we have our take-up choice, going to be a Twilight Council open out of Astrea, Twilight Council into a second gateway. Likewise, Spirit getting a safety bunker into his 1-1 setup. Rax followed by the factory. No command center yet. But Spirit, he's building up his resources. Going for the starport. So 1-1-1. Speaking of waking up early, that's a second Twilight Council. Oh no, I believe that should be a third gateway instead. So I mean, again, it's 5 a.m. in the morning for Astrea. He just woke up. He's huffing down that coffee, and hopefully he notices in time before the Twilight Council finishes. I believe that is not intentional. There we go. Whew. Does cancel in time, but that does delay his third gateway. That is going to be delayed third gateway instead, so a rough start here for Astrea. Reaper dips in, and does get a full scout, gets eyes on the setup, but is going to go down without getting a probe kill. We go. Astrea, he goes for a third Nexus before the third gateway. So economic, a greedy follow-up here by Astrea. Again, I don't think he intended to get a third base this quickly necessarily, but you know, again, we had that fumbled start. Meanwhile, across the map, the 1-1-1 into Banshee. The hallucination does get eyes on the tech lab, but remember, last game, Spirit opened Raven, so for all that Astrea knows, it could be another Raven-based opener. Doesn't know whether or not it is Banshee. Meanwhile, alongside it, early tank production as well. Spirit has yet to expand, yet to get a third CC. Hellion dives past the army into the main, once again getting full scouts, getting eyes on any tech, on any production buildings. Does confirm nothing additional has been placed. And the Banshee moves out. Banshee does move out to Spirit. Okay, we good. So it's just getting a little bit chilly here. Just closing things up. Meanwhile, we are follow-up tech. It is going to be the bay into charge towards Colossus production. The first Banshee has arrived, but as a reminder, it's only one Banshee and there is no cloak. So it gets a probe. Oh, but he's going to be caught out by the Blink Stalkers. Yeah, one more volley and the Banshee goes out. This was not worth it here for Spirit as he only gets one probe. One worker goes down for a Banshee. Better trade for Astrea. Spirit now getting into his own third CC. I believe that is a third CC after the third Rax. So that is earlier than previously, but not too greedy for Spirits. And I would have assumed he would have cut more corners, to be honest. As Spirit did invest more heavily here into this earlier game aggression, and so far it has not been worth it. Now the Raven does move out as a follow-up towards the main. Energy is available, auto charts as well. Astrea, he can respond. Oh, can respond. Meanwhile, shout out to the clean feed. We do cast from a clean feed, and sometimes it is a little bit shaky. Thankfully, not for too much longer. As we have Astrea taking up, Forge on the way, charge, extend thermal lens as well. And Astrea just rushing into a fourth. Getting to a fourth Nexus, securing himself on a 3-base economy. Building up more Colossus. What I'm curious though about is his vision. What he sees. There is an observer outside of the natural and he does spot the move out. Now he knows. Now it's time to warp in. Charge is done. We should be seeing shield batteries, we should be seeing zealots as well. Alas, no shield battery set up here at the expansion yet. Does get eyes on the would-be third. But did he notice the move out? There we go. There's the warp in. Second Colossus has arrived. Astrea ideally would like to be proactive. He's going to be scouting with that zealot. He will get eyes on the army. Does spot it, is aware. Astrea, he responds. Again, lack of shield battery is concerning. Oof. As he pulls away. At the same time, SCV is going down towards Zealot Run By. I'm assuming Zealot Run By, as it's going to be 4 SCV kills. There it is. 4 workers go down. Nicely done. Meanwhile, Spirit doesn't quite have enough to dive in. Auto turret into the main. Astrea is in position. And does he have enough to engage? As time goes on, he's building up more zealots. +1 is almost done. And Spirit, he backs off. Wise move. Considering that this army is just getting larger for Astrea and Spirit's isn't, he pulls away. Astrea, he spots the move. He spots the pullback. Catches the Widowmine. Oh no, the misrally! Oh, there's a bit of a misrally here. 1 medevac goes down. The second medevac as well. I mean, we spoke about how how Astrea, he just woke up. It's 5 a.m. Hopefully Spirit didn't just wake up. I mean, as we can't make these mistakes here. Not here. Not when we're already down in the series. Need to tighten things up and bring it home again. I'm hoping for a back and forth. Spirit getting a 4th CC. Getting to Ghost production, getting the Vikings as well. Now, what I will say, despite some of these missteps, despite losing his Banshee, for example, losing these 2 medevacs as well, what I will say is that because the map is so large, we still have a breathing room here to build up. Even despite those losses, I should say, it's not like Astrea is threatening Spirit. Astrea, he's chilling back at home, but he is getting more expansions. He's getting a 5th base as we speak, and now he's embracing Disruptor production. Once the Disruptors have arrived, then Astrea can move out. Then he can start being more active and more aggressive. Speaking of, is now moving out across the map. Runs into the tanks. Oh no, the tanks are exposed. Doesn't quite commit. Ooh, takes some mine shots to the face. But there we go. 1, 2 tanks going to be going down. Engaging with the Bio Army. At the same time, Spirit going for a double drop. And Astrea, he can't quite chase. Pulls away. But does reset the tank count. Oh no! Catching a Raven as well. Not like this. Pylon does spot the drop. Astrea, he is aware. He responds to it. He's racing back home. Likewise, 2nd starport on the way for Spirit, Fusion Core as well, and that should be for Liberators. Now, as Spirit is going into Viking Lib, what is Astrea doing? I mean, he's on 5 bases. What does that mean? Sky Toss. +1 air attack, 2nd or 1st Stargate into Fleet Beacon, into 2nd Stargate, into Sky Toss. That is on the horizon here for Astrea. That's the ideal that you want to be going for in a late game TVP setup. And Astrea, he's thinking about it. He's working on it. Likewise moves out. Planetary not quite ready. Nova zones away. Vikings, they do zone well, but despite that, the base is going to be denied. Vikings, they collapse on the first Colossus. Colossus is going to go down. Nice pickup. 1 Colossus falls. And Astrea, he has to pull away. Gets 12 SCVs. But with only 1 Colossus, the army is vulnerable. And Astrea, he pulls back. Does pull back, going to be reinforcing. There it is, there's a Fleet Beacon, 2nd Stargate. We'll see if Astrea goes for Tempest or Carriers, they both have their place. As Astrea is maxed out. Once again, zoning away, going for the CC. Nova's going off. Ooh, decent connections. And Astrea, he just collapses in, chasing this army down. Takes down the medevacs, collapsing on the bio, and there are so many more Disruptors behind this. We do see Spirit coming in with the double drop. He denies the warp in. Nicely done. Does he force a recall, or does Astrea keep going? As Novas, they go off, they throw the army away. Astrea, he has defensive warp ins. He has reinforcements, takes down a full medevac, and Astrea defends. Astrea, he defends, doesn't have to recall. Now pulling back. Spirit, he's only on 3 bases, so there's nothing really pressuring Astrea to push in, to move in. +2 air attack is on the way. Oh no! The medevacs are getting caught out, and thankfully they will escape. 1 medevac goes down, but the other 2 barely get away. Whew. That could have been worse. I mean, it's still rough, but could have been disastrous, as I'm sure Astrea's warping in back at home. Getting in position behind the mineral line. 1st Liberator goes down, 2nd one as well. As the Colossus wreaks havoc here in the mineral line. Meanwhile, in the main base, is anything to defend? There is. Astrea, he has reinforcements. He's up the drop. The Fleet Beacon was scattered. No Skytos transition yet here from Astrea. He's just working on those upgrades. Just more reliant on a ground-focused army. As the lib count gets higher, that's when Skytos is required, and there it is. A Tempest production has begun. That is going to be the answer to the libs. But Spirit needs another expansion. He's going for his 4th. He's going for the pocket base. Pocket base is on the way. The freedom is here. But Astrea, he has a bank. Now it's the time to trade. As he does need more Skytos. Yeah, he dives in and does focus on the libs one after the other. There's not enough freedom. All 3 Liberators go down. Oh, and the Nova connects. Massive connection. Oh my god. The connections, they just keep going. And the splits aren't quite there. I mean, how can we? As he's pinned against the wall, does focus on 4 Disruptors. GG gets called, and Astrea will take a 2-0 lead. Whew. GG. Does take a 2-0 lead here so far in the series, and Spirit, he's up against the wall. I'll be honest, I was a little bit shocked to see that Spirit wasn't as greedy as he usually is. We spoke about it. Here in game number 2, we have seen Spirit in the past in this matchup go CC first, go for a 3rd CC before a starport, before a factory even, just be hyper greedy and not necessarily be punished for it. He's so good at that, but this game instead, if you recall, he did delay his expansions. He did delay his 3rd base, he delayed his 4th base as well. If you recall, he did take a little bit more, he committed a little bit more harder into his Banshee, into early game aggression. Alas, wasn't quite worth it for Spirits. It did fall behind economically, I should say, as a result. And he wasn't quite able to be as active as he would have liked to have been. Part of that is also the size of the maps, right? Amygdala and Neon Violet Square. Spirit, he's known for aggression, he's known for drop play as well, and he wasn't quite able to embrace that on these larger maps. And speaking of larger maps, they continue. The larger maps do continue. Up next, we have King's Cove. King's Cove is the 3rd largest map in the map pool, just behind Abyssal Reef and just behind Neon Violet Square. So because of that, if a player wanted to be active and aggressive, it can be a little bit more difficult on King's Cove. What I will say, though, is the 4th base. Unlike on some of these other maps, the 4th base on King's Cove is more exposed, so we could see Spirit be more committed early on to try to break down that 4th base and contain Astrea to 3 bases. We do often see that dynamic on King's Cove specifically. We'll see. The pressure is on. I'm hoping it's not a 3-0. I'm hoping it's not one-sided. I mean, in my mind, Spirit and Astrea are quite comparable in skill. And I would love to see an ace match. I mean, hey, we just saw the match history between Spirit and Astrea. And Spirit, he hasn't lost a series in, like, what, 2 years? It's crazy. But maybe it's also because they rarely play. Maybe they just don't compete enough against each other. Let's find out, actually. Let's look this up ourselves. 1 moment. As of course, Astrea, he is taking a moment to get some water. I'm assuming. He is hydrating his hydras, stretching his roaches, tucking in his tempest. Yo, did you just get a full glass of coffee? Is that what just happened? Mate, calm down. Calm down, papi. He's stuffed up, he's good to go. He's like, hold up. I'm fueled by coffee right now. I need another cup. Jesus. And yeah, checking the history here. The history is heavily in favor of Spirit. Like, he 2-0'd Astrea in the Lulu League Cup qualifiers. He 3-1 Astrea in EPT Spring of 2024. That was EPT, I believe, Young Shipping. Or maybe the Dallas edition. Like, historically, Spirit, he has been a little more dominant over Astrea, but at the same time, again, as we alluded to, they haven't really played too often as of late. Fun fact, in 2024, they played once. They only played once in 2024, and that wasn't EPT Spring. That was the EPT Dallas. Yeah. So they only played once last year. In 2023, they played 5 times in the entire year. And of course, since then, Astrea has been improving. He has been getting better. Here we go. I don't know if he wants to be tucking in the Tempest. He might need... True, true. Oh, they have to stay up late today. Ah. I mean, last game, we saw they were on the way, but they didn't come into play. Didn't quite need them, but that might change here in Game 3. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have Astrea, the blue Protoss. And in the top left, we have the red Terran. It is Spirit. And the pressure is on Spirit. He needs your support in the chat to make a series out of this. To bring us to a Game 4, to bring us to a Game 5. That's all I want out of this. I'm greedy, but I want more games. Give your energy to Piotr. Give it all to Piotr. Let's go. As again, welcome one and all to King's Cove. Again, King's Cove, another large map in the map pool. Very large map. But as we did allude to, as we did mention, the 4th base is a lot more exposed on this map. So we do often see a lot of 3-base aggression here and a lot of prioritization on just denying the expansions and just containing the Protoss onto 3 bases. But we'll see if we can get there. Clearly, Spirit needs to switch Astrea's drink with decaf. True, true. He needs to sabotage. Ah, no. As we do have both players gearing up, Spirit going for a Rax Expand, economic opener from our red Terran player. Astrea being as annoying as possible, trying to delay the expansion, does force one SCB down to the low ground, so already lost mining time. Marine has arrived, and now Spirit can expand. A bit of a delay the expansion as well, by a second, by a couple of seconds. So a nice little start there from Astrea, as we're settling in. Both players expanding, both players gearing up. We can see Spirit checking for a proxy gateway. It makes sense considering that Astrea is up in this series that this might be the game where he chooses to be more active and more aggressive. So Spirit just being as safe and secure as possible. Making sure there's no shenanigans going on. And once again, Twilight Council out of Astrea. I wouldn't have been opposed to Astrea opening up Stargate in either of these games on Neon-Violet Square, Amygdala, or on King's Cove. But as we can see here, clearly Astrea, he's just not really too comfortable stylistically with Stargate play, so Twilight Council every single game. Getting to blink. And again, I feel like we need to see something different out of Spirit. Either more aggressive play or more greedy play, one or the other. As we have yet to really get that. I mean, sure, we had a slightly earlier 3rd CC last game, but I mean, the initial Banshee opener did not work out well. But now, Spirit being secure. Building up his bio. Hellions on the way to Scouts. As a reminder, I believe Spirit did skip his Reaper. So he has 0 scouting information for the time being. And this is what I wanted last game. Let's go. Do you see what I see on the production tab? That is a CC. That is a 3rd CC before Starport. Finally, the greed. That's what I wanted on Amygdala. That's what I wanted on Neon-Violet Square as well. Just Spirit cutting corners. Oh, but the Adept does shade in. That should not have happened. Astrea gets a full scout. He gets eyes on the 1-1. He has yet to see the 3rd CC. Not yet. And it looks like he's going to be denied that scout. As he does try to get behind the mineral line, and the Marines, they will cut him off. The shade gets past, and ooh, does he see? I believe he did not. So Astrea, he confirms. Astrea, he confirms with hallucination, so Astrea, he's fully aware of how greedy Spirit is being. And now the turns do table. Astrea setting up a proxy across the map. Because Spirit is being greedy, now is the opportunity for Astrea to be aggressive. He has a 3-gate setup back at home, and he's not going for a 4th gateway, but he is reinforcing across the map. And we'll see what Astrea can get done. We'll see if Spirit can get away with this greed. As Astrea is warping in 3 Stalkers at a time. Spirit, he's building up his tank counts. I believe he has a bunker on the low ground. Meanwhile, Astrea, he has high ground vision. He has hallucination. He can blink into the main. Is there a tank? Not quite. Yeah, no tank in position. Oh, the star portal. The Rax is going to be delayed. The tank, no! The tank, one more shot, one more volley, and oh my god, it barely survives. Whew. No, he gets it. Astrea, he dives in with the one Stalker. He gets the tank. And with the tank going down, these Stalkers, I mean, they can just kite this to death. Thankfully, there's not too much room in the main base, so he has to evacuate. Does pull away, but reinforcements have arrived. Astrea can just keep going, bullying back these Marines. Marines are going down. A tank has arrived. Sieging up in the production. But still, that's 8 SCVs going down. Ay, ay, ay. But Spirit, he will hold. Whew. He does hold on. He does defend. Does maintain the main. As Astrea, he reinforces, rotating towards the natural. Tank is just now repositioning. It's not quite ready. And Astrea, he could go for the dive. He does. Tank goes down. Does not get a volley off. These Marines, they do not have stim, but they do body block. It's going to be 1, 2, 3 Stalkers going down. Not the worst trade for Spirit. But the tank count is still low. And with a low tank count, then Astrea can just keep reinforcing, can keep bullying this army. Another tank repositions, more Marines going down. Behind this, Astrea getting his third base up and running, taking up into Forge, into Robo, into Bay, into Colossus. And I would say so far this has been a successful attack here from Astrea. Did not punish necessarily the third base, but did punish Spirit. Got 2 tanks, a bunch of Marines, 8 SCVs if you recall. And the goal here is for Astrea to delay the third base for as long as possible, to keep Spirit contained. As he does delay the production. Oh no. Does force 1 cancel. That's a kill! That's a kill, not a cancel the second Rax. 2 SCVs, the CC under fire as well. It should not go down. It should be saved. It should be saved here. Likewise, Ambitious. Can he get... No, he gets stim! He gets stim as well. Oh god. And what does that mean? That means that Spirit is stuck even longer. He's stuck in his main base even longer here. Trying to break out without stim is a difficult thing to do. Ay, ay, ay. As Astrea is just all over him. Getting a 4th base. While Spirit's stuck on 2. The Observer makes it in. He has eyes on the Tech Lab. Thankfully, Spirit is back up to 3 tanks. Okay. Now with 3 tanks, he should be able to break out. As the army gets spotted, Astrea sees everything. And what does he go for? He sees all 3 tanks repositioning at the third base. Astrea, he rotates. There we go. The tanks, they do siege. And Astrea does not need to push in. Doesn't need to. The damage has been done. At this point, Astrea, he can just back up. He can get his 4th base. He can tech up. He can throw down more forges even. That's a 2nd forge on the way. Jesus. Going into double upgrades. And Astrea, he can even just delay and skip warp-ins. He's warping in a couple of Zealots here and there. But Astrea should be feeling pretty safe and sound. Again, there is no move out without stim. And stim is only halfway done. Meanwhile, there are no tanks at the natural. Oh. Yeah, no tanks at the natural base. Astrea just going for the depot. Gets a depot. Gets a Marauder for a Stalker. Not the worst trade from Astrea. 4 CC on the way for Spirits. His goal here is to try to build up towards a 4th. But what I mentioned before is applicable on both sides. I was talking about how the 4th base is more exposed and is more abusable on King's Cove. And I was assuming that Spirit was going to be aggressive on 3 bases, but as he's getting a 4th base, this means that the opposite is true, where Astrea can be active instead and contain Spirit onto 3 bases. And keep him contained. As you can see, Astrea moving out with his main army. That's a lot of charge lots. That's a lot of Protoss. As Astrea, he's double expanding, getting a 5th. Ay, ay, ay. So his 4th is saturated, getting a 5th as well. Prism towards the natural. Now, what I will say is that Spirit's defensive setup on his 3rd base is quite solid. It's quite secure. I don't think Astrea needs to push up this ramp into this defensive setup. As I mentioned before, it's the 4th base that's exposed, not the 3rd. But Astrea, he might just try to send it anyway. I mean, he is up in supply. It may be enough to overcome the defensive setup here of Spirit. Zealots, they jump into the natural. Zealots into the main. Astrea, he responds. Going for a massive warp in. And depending on how Spirit reacts, Spirit, he can just send it. Sorry, Astrea can just send it. Yeah, he's going for the kill. He's going for the main army. He wants a tank line. He blinks in. A bit of an awkward attack, but alas, he gets 1, he gets 2, he gets 3. He's going to get all 4 tanks. The tanks, they all go down. Not enough support. The bio army was out of position. Also wreaking havoc here in the natural base. Spirit, he does drop across the map, but this is game-ending damage. This is what, 23 SCVs going down. 4 tanks, the bio army. There's still Zelts in the main. And the army still threatening the third. And Astrea is snowballing out of control. He's just all over this. Oh my god. The power of coffee. The power of caffeine. He's crazy. More importantly, the power of the smudge. The hoodie is up. GG gets called. And Astrea, he will take the series at 3-0. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. A very impressive win here from Astrea. Fun fact, Astrea has not beaten Spirit since 2023. It's been a long time. It's been years. It's been a very long time since Astrea has beaten Spirit. It was actually 2023 in, when was it? In July of 2023. It's been a long time. It's been a very long time, and to have a 3-0 result as well, very impressive. GG, well played. Astrea does advance on into the next round, and Spirit gets knocked out of the tournament. He gets knocked out of Masters Coliseum. My condolences to Spirit. Again, he's an amazing player, and Spirit, he has been looking very strong as of late, but everyone has an off day. And I want to believe that this is an off day for Spirit. Game 1 and Game 2 especially felt a little bit weird, especially when it came to some small missteps here and there, but also to some of the builds of choices as well. Maybe playing a little bit too safe, maybe playing a little bit too conservative at times, and Astrea just took full advantage of that as well. Maybe overconfidence by Spirit, hard to say. Regardless, with that, GG and Astrea will make it through. Congratulations here to Astrea, and I look forward to seeing more of Spirit in the coming week. As fun fact, next week is the Hauser Galactic Battle. We are going to be casting and featuring all the top Protoss players in this month, in January, here in an offline event in Warsaw. So we're going to be seeing some more Spirit. Do not fret, and hopefully he's in form coming into that offline event. Regardless, for now, we're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, we will have our next series. We will have another TVP between Gumiho and Zaun. See you soon. See you soon.